Welcome back to the People's Business. We are into the final segment of the program, and we have a few callers waiting. We try to get a few calls in. Good evening. Welcome to the next caller.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling to find out, are there any measures that have been taken or will be taken to dissuade drivers from traveling at high speeds and also using their cell phones?
Using their phones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So speeding and use of phones. Are there any measures that are being taken to prevent drivers from doing that?
We have a cell phone policy. Drivers are not allowed to use cell phones while the vehicle is in motion. If they wish to use or make a call, you wait until you get to the terminal and then you make your call. We insist on that because it's safety as well. Because you cannot use a cell phone and drive at the same time. It poses a danger to the public. So part of our policy is that you cannot use your telephone, and where such infractions occur on the bus, it should be reported.
Suppose the driver stops the bus en route to make a phone call.
That is not allowed. But if it's considered emergency, well, and that's explained, but normally he should wait until he reaches the terminal.
To have that conversation?
That's correct.
Okay. And that's agreed?
That is agreed, yes.
All right. All right, and on the speeding?
The speeding is not allowed because you're transporting passengers, and safety is one of our business, or the major part of our business. You cannot speed. You have to obey the law. And we don't encourage drivers to break the law.
Okay. You have an excellent safety record, though, at the Barbados Transport Board in terms of moving large numbers of people. I mean, for the 55 years, you must have moved millions of people.
Yes, that's correct.
On a daily basis. No, sorry, billions overall. And you have a fairly good track record. I don't think you've ever had any fatalities.
Not major, really. We have major accidents. But normally we have a very safety record.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do better. And we hope to do better because we're in the transport. But we emphasize safety all the time.
Okay. All right, we take another call. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Yes, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, sir,
any interference from there because I could move away from so for some others are listening. I will be as short as possible. Hello?
Please do. Go right ahead, sir.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Wickham and the panel. I want to know what is the role of the security guard, the Princess Alice, especially Princess Alice, because I have been seeing a lot of inadequacies there and they're not performing their duty.
Security guards?
I would like to know their role.
The security guards?
Duties are concerned when they lining up.
Okay. Security guards, I think he's talking about.
Yes, we have private security guards at the Princess Alice Terminal, and their role is to assist the public in terms of queuing up and so forth, to do any infractions to public safety.
And the impression that I'm getting from this gentleman is that he doesn't see them acting.
Yeah, I think what he needs to do is to report to the Transport Board through the Accident Complaints Department what he sees or what he has observed.
Did the police ever assist you all with maintaining law and order in your in the public terminals?
Yes, been called upon. But apart from that, our private security
that's supposed to be able
to handle those matters.
Because
but
often,
if it's beyond there, they call the police.
Because often I think the level of cooperation is normally greater with the police.
Yes, normally.
Okay, all right. Let's see how many more calls we can get in. Good evening, welcome to the program. Good evening and welcome, you're on the air.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, my question is, the City 930 bus that leaves this town, right? I want to know why it doesn't take the same route back to town and go back down for town. Because after 930 from up down scam, the only bus that they have two buses that come straight up, the White Hill and St. Andrew, that come straight back to the town. Did they straight the 930 bus that comes up, go straight and take that same road?
Okay, I'm hoping that, because again we're saying we're trying to stay away from specific queries, I'm hoping that the team can respond to this. I'm not sure, I didn't understand the question really. He's saying that the bus goes one direction and comes a different direction?
Yeah, I didn't hear all of it, but when it comes to that time of night, we we amalgamate or merge some routes to ensure that all districts can be serviced. So therefore there is some modification from what would happen during the day so that everybody gets a piece of the pie basically. To run 2 or 3 buses going back the same place would not be as efficient. So we do some detours going up Seaview or going around other areas where persons still need to get home.
But if this is known, I mean this is known to persons who who use the bus. What advice would you give to people in terms of those areas?
Well, I think what we're looking to do is to give a little bit more information as far as our routing. Either, as I would have told you, we have the website from before, but we're looking to issue some brochures and so on, so that changes that we make, or even changes that we think the public might know about, everybody isn't aware, so it comes down to informing the public.
Okay. So
that is something we would take on to do.
Great. All right. Another call. Good evening. Welcome to the program. You're on the air.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to welcome and thank the Transport Board for the new bus service from Spikestone to Houston. And I remember it first started, it was a bit difficult because it was not really so helpful to persons from St. Lucie who worked at Haggett Hall all the way up there because they had special bus stops. So now I understand it's traveling that route and it is taking in all the stops, which is very good. So I want to thank them for that service.
Okay.
Because I remember there were people who live in St. Lucie and St. Peter who had paid 3 bus fares to get to Haggett Hall to work. Kamal is national, and I think that was a hard thing, you know.
Well, thank you for your call, ma'am. Route rationalization. This is what we talked about in the beginning, and clearly you're getting some support on this matter. So we look forward to hearing more about that. Another call. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Yes. Good evening. Welcome. You're on the air. Good evening and welcome. You're on the air with us. We don't have much time remaining.
Yes, good evening. I want
sir.
to say good evening to you, Mr. Wickham, and the panel. My question is, I want to know if you have plans in the future to introduce a transfer system. You know, sometimes people want to travel from one point of the country to the next to avoid going in Bridgetown. But then you have to go to Bridgetown to take a next bus. So would you all ever be introducing a system where you go to Bridgetown, you can use a transfer without paying an additional fare?
Okay. Thank you for your call and your intervention. We had a transfer system years ago, no? What happened to it? Was there anyone when I was a child I used to buy a transfer ticket?
Okay. Well, I'm not aware of the transfer at that point.
Was that long ago? It was a different color ticket. It was cheaper. And it would allow you to go, so you buy two for 2 journeys. Right. And I took 2 buses to school, so the second one was cheaper.
But what you just said is important. Even when the transfer system was operated in your time period, there was a specific fare scheme behind it. Transport Board doesn't set fare, so basically a transfer system, and we have come under the Transport Authority as well. It's a policy decision as far as what would be the cost of that fare, you know, how you would what would be the framework behind it for operation. So that is something that goes a little bit wider than Transport Board, but we do see that the connectivity, especially with the cross-country developments that we're looking to do, now that we're taking in the ABC highway, it could be very beneficial, but it takes a number of other parties.
So long and short of it, I'm old, so that get accustomed to the fact this is how it's done now. sorry.
Yeah, the transfer system, I think that when the analysis is completed by the Department of Management Studies, the transfer component, or the transfer principle will be addressed.
Yeah, but that may very well come at a time when bus fares are reviewed.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you very much for being on the program. I thought that we had a fairly fruitful program today. Ms. Gina Graves, who is Terminal Manager with the Barbados Transport Board, and Mr. Malcolm Bavell, who is Deputy General Manager. Thank you all for coming. We're under the watchful eye of Ms. Sandra Ford, who is General Manager of the Barbados Transport Board, with us in the studio. And we also want to thank her for her distinguished presence and prompting to ensure that we didn't forget anything that we were supposed to discuss to the general public. I also want to thank you for joining us and for being part of the program tonight, for your calls and your emails. I'm apologizing for the fact that we couldn't take them. This program is rebroadcast on Tuesday morning at 10. It's 10 in the morning on Tuesday. You can watch a rebroadcast of The People's Business. And we're here next week, Sunday, and look forward to having you with us again. My name is Peter Wickham. Look forward to being with you again next week. Bye-bye.